On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs and the entire ministry, I want to welcome you to this press briefing. It's usual that anytime we go out on an international assignment, we owe it to this, as a duty to this country, to explain what we went out to do, what we achieved, and what steps we are taking next to implement whatever the outcomes of our engagement is.
The reason why these trade shows are important because this is the platform where, as far as tourism is concerned globally, this is where we go and do business. Other industries have where they go in, but these are our statutory international events. We have the WTM, that is the World Travel Mart in the UK. We have the FITU taking place in Spain. We have the ITB, which is the International Tourismus Bureau taking place in Germany. We also have the Top Raiser, which that one is taking place in France for the French market. And now we have also have the WTM Africa taking place in South Africa. We need to know that these are statutory events. There are lots of trade shows in the world. There are lots. We have the ones in the the Chinese, for the Chinese market, the Indian market. We have one for the Netherlands, but these are the major ones which Sierra Leone has been participating.
As tour operators, ITB is primarily, it's a B2B event, which means we're interfacing with other international tour operators. And on that panel, I think there was only about 3 or 4 other representatives. All of these things send a message that Sierra Leone is ready and serious in terms of marketing itself as a destination. Our job is to go there and interface with other international tour operators, okay? You have new tour operators that you meet, people who come by the stand, and because of marketing efforts, they've heard of the destination and they want to speak to a DMC or local tour operator. And then you also have the opportunity to meet maybe some operators who you have been communicating with email, but of course, there comes a time when they also want to see who they're dealing with, you know. So it's an opportunity to also meet existing tour operators that you have relationships with.
The experience was really, really great, you know, for me to represent Tasso Ecotourism. There were a lot of tour operators and also single travelers that were coming to the Sierra Leone stand. They were interested, some were interested in luxury tourism, whilst others in ecotourism, other people in history and heritage. For me, Tasso Ecotourism is a destination. We promote ecotourism. I want to say that the press should continue to take out good news out there about our nation, Sierra Leone, because you know, some of the guests or the tourists that are coming to Sierra Leone, they had a kind of fear because of what the country have been through. But we need to pass on the message that Sierra Leone has increased in tourism, and you know, the land is safe, our country is safe, and there are a lot of potential for tourists to come.
For me, Cabana, this is my first time to visit ITB Berlin. And on my part, I saw a lot of opportunity there. So I want to encourage my other brothers and sisters in the private sector to do more. You know, we need to do more, and I believe in the next 4 or 5 years we will grow this sector. You know, I have hope, and I saw a lot of opportunities there. So for me, I can assure the ministry, Cabana, we are ready to do more. You know, we are ready to do more, and we engage the ministry in 1 or 2 ways we can invest more and help and promote the sector. So thank you.
We as a private sector, we rely strongly on the government to laying the groundwork and the enabling environment where we can foster growth into our businesses and showcasing Sierra Leone tourism potentials to our partners and investors outside of the country. We want Sierra Leone to be like Kenya. We want Sierra Leone to be like other places where we can go to the waterfall in Zimbabwe, the Kilimanjaro, and elsewhere. We have all of these places similarly here in Sierra Leone. And that is why the minister is particular about us rebranding our nation when it comes to ecotourism. And with our support as a private sector, we will ensure that this flagship program of the minister serves as a lasting progress towards the development of tourism in our country, which she can be remembered for in time to come.
If we are where we are today, it's because all of us are working together as a team. I am motivated by my staff. I'm motivated by the members of the private sector because they've been there doing this for a very long time, and they have no inhibitions, working with the ministry, because what we want is to have a private sector-led industry. And the private sector have been by our side. They have been helping us to drive the policy change that is needed to have an effective and a functional tourism sector in Sierra Leone. And so therefore, whenever we go to these events, whenever we go to these roadshows or meetings that we have outside, we ensure that we put forward our vision of having a private sector-led industry. We also ensure that we put forward our vision of creating or making Sierra Leone an ecotourism destination. So we're starting off this year. As you have heard from the General Manager, again, I may refer to you a couple of times in my submission today. The statistical data that we've had for the past year and a half, we realize that the interest in Sierra Leone is largely around ecotourism, followed closely by our culture and heritage and bird watching and other things that also neatly dovetail into the focus of ecotourism. So we believe that it is important now more than ever for us to preserve our natural beauty and our cultural heritage. And we have the Year of Ecotourism, which is connecting, our culture, our conservation and community. So we want everyone involved, and this is the message that we took out to the ITB. I was privileged to have served on 2 panels. The first one was with Richard Quest, where I was there alongside the Ministers of Tourism of Albania. They were the sponsors of the ITB, and the Minister of Croatia and the President of the European Commission for Travel and Tourism. And the second panel was a ministerial panel which had about 16 or 17 ministers, and it also gave us another opportunity to showcase what Sierra Leone is doing. And it's really important for us to have as many panels as possible, because any opportunity we get to share the story about Sierra Leone, where every attempt and every opportunity where we are kind of moving forward, we're progressing in terms of, negating all this negative thing that was around, the civil war and how people perceive Sierra Leone, rather than seeing it as a beautiful country, seeing it as a country of conflict. And that is what we're doing. So we're really happy to go out to these events. It's really, really hard work, because sometimes we start at 7 in the morning and we don't end until 9 at night, because again, when you come home, there are things you need to do. You have to write reports and there are meetings, and we have to also plan for the following day. And sometimes it's quite exhausting managing meetings back to back. So we just want to give you a picture of what it is that we do out there. We want to thank all of you who have been amplifying our stories in various ways. We ask that you continue to do that. We ask that you continue to give us the necessary support that we need for our programs, because the more people we have on board, the louder the noise is and the more impactful it would be in the international scene. Let's maintain this positive outlook, and we're counting on you to share the positive stories. Let's forget about the negatives. Thank you very much.
We strong.